Shazam! Good morning. I am still getting my act together. No road trip today. Too much snow. Give me a minute to turn on my cameras. And switch to another camera. Okay, it's not horrible. Okay, and so let's put one more up. The audios are fine. Let's switch to camera 3. Okay, that's got some potential. You're seeing what I usually do off stream. So here's what we're going to do now. I'm just going to set my lighting levels. Actually, let's turn on one more light. Figured out a trick. I can turn. There we go. Let's use this test for lighting. Wow, really? That bad? There we go. Turn the autofocus off. Turn up the brightness. Turn up the contrast slightly. There we go. That looks a little more like what I do. I can leave mine alone. Actually, that's not true. Switch that to widescreen. We'll only do up to 54. How about that? And then the last camera. Here, let's make it full screen for a moment. Okay, that looks like crap. So what can we do? It's looking a little better. Okay. Hey, T-Mog. How you doing? It's a Chinese one from way back. I use it for my camera testing. I need to figure out where that went. This was supposed to be 8 o'clock tonight, but since I'm not getting on the road because a snowstorm came in overnight, it's going to be snowing all day in Toronto. It's like, not doing it. Okay, so if that's the camera, Yeah, that's the right camera. Okay, I need to do set widescreen and jack up the brightness a bit. Jack up contrast a bit. And then focus. Ooh. There we go. That looks really sharp there. And if I do, oh, I got one little light. Be good. There we go. There we go. Not too much, not too little. Awesome. Yeah, it's a shame I was supposed to do a nice road trip. But yeah, 2 or 3 hours in this stuff. It's not my idea of fun. So let's see if we change that for now. Oh, hey, yeah, no biggie, no biggie. Tonight will be interesting with the new bricks. I got a couple sets I think you're going to be interested in. Maybe. Still, I mean, I've actually listed it on local Kijiji just for giggles. But yeah, I don't know if I'm keeping it or not. Might put it away, pull it back out. Doesn't do anything for me though. So what was the last thing? Oh yeah. Oh. Stars of the show. So since I'm home today, I figure I'll do some builds. Just don't know what. As I figured I'd be on the road for 6 or 7 hours. That was the plan. I found half of what I wanted after hitting a bunch of Mastermind. Like I do every year at this time. I always find stuff 2 weeks early there. It's the only time I ever find anything on Mastermind to give a crap about. Because they're either the same price or slightly more expensive than Lego at Mastermind, I find. And I never get the deals there. For all the places I get deals at, it's never in Mastermind. It just doesn't happen. If you're interested, yeah, I didn't put any of these out. Let's see. But yeah, I was going to do this at 8 o'clock tonight and then have new bricks at 9 o'clock tonight. But if I'm not going anywhere, I figure I'd bang this one out now, do some live builds, and then I'll still do new bricks at 9 o'clock Eastern. Oh my goodness, that was fast.
Like the Flash.
I thought I had the Flash shirt on. I gotta send you another one. Good morning.
Yeah, morning. How's it going?
Yeah, okay. We got up 2 hours ago because the plan was I would get up, look out the window, look at the weather report because we knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I waited 3 months before pulling the trigger on the idea of this road trip. It's like, oh man. And it became real important to try and do it this week, given
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to do tonight on New Bricks. And it's like, all right, let's see if we can do it. And then the last 2 days, it was like, the weather's coming in. The weather's coming in. It's like, oh. And it's not like we do tire chains in Toronto. We don't. It's illegal. You can't do tire chains within like I think 2 hours of where I live. So you have to go pretty far before you're allowed to use tire chains here in this
Okay.
province. And yeah, that snow's coming in. Sure enough, in the last 2 hours, I keep looking out. It's like, yeah, I'm glad we didn't go out. Because in good weather, it would have been 2 hours there where we were going. And then
Mm-hmm.
whatever time we messed around and then time coming back, and it's a very long trip in Toronto to go around 2 systems of water in the winter with bad snow coming in. Like,
Never
and
good.
the worst part is like in a few hours we'll probably look out and maybe it'll melt because it's not cold. It's just a
Mhm.
lot of snow, but it's just not worth the trip. It's like, yeah, it's okay. I got enough to talk about tonight. And in the spring, I'll make a trip to where we're going, and that'll be an interesting story then.
Okay. Okay. That's pretty cool.
So, what have you been building lately?
I've kind of taken a unofficial slash official break from
Oh,
building
oh,
until the
so
new
you're
year.
still on that? Because no one ever sticks to that crap. It's like, oh, I'm not going to buy anything in New Year, and then people buy.
Well,
You know,
I haven't. I mean, like, I bought Ninja Red battle packs because the one employee who has me in their DMs said, "Hey, we got some in stock," and I was like, "Put some aside, please."
I'll be right over.
Yeah. Plus, he gave me some from his own collection that I didn't want, so that was nice of him to do. So that was fun.
Well, I
He's like,
remember last December after I did the mastermind run, it said, okay, so I'm good. I got what I wanted. I won't buy for a month or something. And then, yeah, that lasted 2 weeks, something like that. It didn't last long. But I did manage to cut way back this year. So that was good. I did
yeah,
manage to keep that goal. I still end up buying a lot. But yeah.
yeah. I just figured that Saturdays are normally my day for streaming for me that I do. Um, and I chose not to do it for this week because everyone's gonna want to talk about the latest Marvel movie, and
Oh, don't want to spoil it.
I myself am having difficulties not. Well, I mean, like I haven't said too much to the people who've asked, but um, yeah, it's just better not to risk it for those who want to go see it. Basically, to
I
spoil stuff.
so I posted a fake spoiler for it and it got taken down, which was funny. So
Really?
what I yeah, so what I did was I took a 45-second clip from a 1978 Spider-Man cartoon with a bad um I think they called it flexography, that style of animation back then, which was horrible. And it was honestly just trash, but of course it got a copyright strike on it. It's like, yeah, whatever. I had fun putting it up. I don't give a crap. And it wasn't up long before it got taken down. But
Wow.
yeah, full Spider-Man, whatever, blah blah blah, ending scene.
Going for straight on clickbait, are we?
Oh yeah, straight up. I was just trying to see can I game the system and get a whole lot of views and whatever. And I didn't even care if I got hate. I just thought it'd be funny before I went to bed. And then once I did it, it's like ding, da ding, da ding, ding, ding. It's like, oh, this is not good. We are taking this down, blah blah blah. Yeah, I figured you would.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to stay up long.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't
But
have
yeah.
nearly the amount of interest in the Spider-Man movie. I want to watch
Okay.
Hawkeye. I still haven't watched Hawkeye yet, but we're trying to get through some other stuff like Yellowstone, which is an amazing show on Prime.
Hmm.
Yeah, Amazon Prime, and it's really good. I think we got one more episode, maybe two. Really good show, modern Western, basically. Really cool.
Okay.
Too many shows to watch, man. I got Lost in Space Site season 3. I've
You
got
still doing that?
the final season now.
Wow.
Of course, we got Boba Fett's thing coming in what, a week or two.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. There's like 5. Hawkeye, I haven't watched at all. 1 or 2 episodes for
Next
Yellowstone.
week's the last
Afterlife.
episode. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's it. I'm gonna end up watching it when it's all out. It's like shoot. I mean, that'll be good. I can binge it all.
Hmm.
But yeah, way behind. And the problem is, so many of these shows are shows that I watch with the family. So if we're not all together, it's like, oh, so I fall behind on this, I fall behind on that.
Hmm.
And yesterday I ended up doing 2 days worth because Thursday, when I was running around, I worked at overtime, and then it was like, as soon as I got out, Ryan said, "Hey, you guys in Toronto already got the new sets." Well, I was expecting to do that running around on Friday, but since I was already at work, in Mississauga, and I live in Toronto, and the stores that I would be hitting are in Mississauga, it's like, well, why waste the gas? I'm already out there. So I told my wife I'd been working overtime, but I'm still not coming home yet. And I started doing Dukes of Hazzard, driving around, hitting the different stores on the way home. And it was pretty successful. There was one or two I wanted to get, but I didn't see them at any of the masterminds. And from what I could gather, they didn't have them all yet. They just had some of the wave. And it's like, that's okay. And it's pretty much what it was last year, too. I was able to get some and not all.
A
lot of themes, though. Like, they had everything. Like, all the new themes, they had a little bit of everything out. I was surprised. Yeah.
Because, like, my dad called the one location yesterday on my behalf and said they didn't know until 5 o'clock when they had unloaded everything. I'm like, I'm not going to be motivated to call him at 5 o'clock. I got home and I crashed and woke up at, like, 10 p.m. and I was like, yeah, I'm not sleeping. Besides, it's too late to call anyway. So I'm hoping, like, 2 hours from now, I should be able to call and ask. Because I'm looking for at least one of the Mario CMFs, just get my hands on one of those. I want to get the Raccoon Girl from 22. And I really love the Fox Lodge. Everything else I don't mind waiting on. So
yeah, I felt like taking a lot of pictures and stuff, but I know a lot of people had already been doing that. So I was like, I don't care. People will find that info if they really want it. I mean, it's common knowledge now, Mastermind. It's not even street date. Everyone thinks, oh, they're breaking street date. Most of the stuff is not marked. We just know it as January 1st launches or whatever. When they get them, they get them. But this is pretty consistent that every year Mastermind will have them roughly 2 weeks before, and Toys R Us generally a week before.
Oh,
yeah. I was still checking the Toys R Us when I was doing the runaround for the Masterminds, just in case, because, hey, if they got them, they got them. They'll put them out. And even a few Walmarts I checked just for giggles, just in case. But the Walmart distribution system's slower, even though it's bigger. So I wasn't really expecting, but anytime next week, you'd be surprised what'll pop up in some of the Walmarts too. Now, the problem with the ones in the Walmarts, they do have a closer relationship with Lego in the sense if there is something on a restriction list, it could end up being on the shelf and you're not being able to buy it because they won't put the price in the system. So if you do try and walk out with it, it'll get flagged. You'll deal with one of their associates and they'll say, oh, we can't sell it to you. And the reason being they can't see a price. That'll be the reason. Very common with Walmart at this time of year.
Just pull up on Shop at Home how much they got it coming for.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah. So what's been your favorite build out of the advent count for each of the advent calendars so far?
Actual build?
Or figures too, whatever. Favorite
figures. Hey, there's been a lot of cool figures. I mean, probably the Biker Scout, because I've done one of those.
Okay.
Just for a good looking figure, period. And actually that red kind of droid figure that has a dual molded head with a big circle on his face. I really like that figure.
It's not the Conja Club, it's the other guy. Like that scene in
from the Raftar set, and really cool looking figure.
Yeah, I like the uniquely molded head. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was surprised it was dual molded when I looked inside. I went, oh. Let's see. This is probably. If I hold it up to this though, it's not going to be clear.
Oh, that's
TIE Fighter.
Yeah. Sith one or whatever. No, not First Order. Sorry.
Well, no, it would be. Yeah. First Order, because it's got the red.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I mean, they're cruddy little builds. I mean, people call them spare parts, and they are.
Have you tried doing what some people try and do and build them in the bag?
No, I got no interest in doing them in the bag. I've been asked that a few times. Like, nah, it's okay.
I'm
I mean, I
tempted
only
to.
ever bought any of these for the figures.
Yeah.
That's the only reason any of these things are in my possession. Because I don't think they're good value. Fortunately, they've all been purchased on discount.
Yeah.
Like I've never bought one at retail price, so I guess that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the red is on the proper side for this. The red is shown on the, trying to get on the left. I'd have to look at my other build because I don't recall. It's been so long since I've seen a Sith TIE fighter.
I think yeah they have because like there's options for the pilot and then the gunner on the back.
When they first released the set, though, I thought that was such a cool Lego set. Like they really knocked it out of the park. I thought it was nice. The build was cool. Space for the two figures inside, which was a first. Kind of made me fall in love with the Lego stuff all over again. Oh, and there's one on each outside. All right. Yeah, I don't know about this build. This is, Of course, you're dealing with the scale. Oh, that's just wrong. Let's see. What I liked was the shoulder mount on one side of the TIE fighter. I thought that was just cool looking, kind of Predator style.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad. Do they put one on the back too? No? Well, I'm going to put one on the back. Because there was two screens, so I'm putting one on the back too.
Mm-hmm.
Because the rear gunner had a windscreen. So let's switch this up. And Shazam.
There needs to be a rounded tile on the top in black, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I got two extra studs, but yeah, none of those would look good.
Maybe even a square tile.
Yeah, no, anything would be good there. Well, actually, it should stay rounded. I mean, given the whole,
Yeah.
center of the ship. Not a bad little build. I'm biased. I like TIE fighters. They really can't do too much wrong with it.
Right.
I mean, I've got them all, and some of those early ones are just crud between the blue, which is just wrong, and the builds were just so unstable. The early builds, they put the wings as a build, the body as a build, and they joined them together with some Technic pins. So you ended up with, it was a little bit of bowing or flexing that would happen.
Oh no.
Well, they weren't heavy or anything, but it's just that if you set it down on the table, the sides would become what's called camber. They would lean in at the top. It just
Okay.
didn't look right.
Hmm.
The workaround for that was don't build it the way they tell you. Don't use Technic bricks with pins. Just use bricks, and all of a sudden it's rock solid. It's like, I honestly don't understand why they would build it that way. You could build it with less pieces and make it more solid. Technic is great, but only when you use enough of it in the right way. Let's see, get rid of that. Oh yeah, I should have put that there. And that's the extra crud you get. What is this? The 2020. So yeah, when I realized I wasn't going anywhere today, I figured, well, let's move this up 11 hours, and then I could build something else during the day. And then I could still do new bricks tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, the only problem is don't know what. I thought about putting a pole up, but I didn't do that either. Sometimes stuff just feels like work.
Mm-hmm. I get
I had to
that.
change my graphic for tonight's live stream, and then I realized after I changed it, I put a new typo in the new one. Because when I was canceling the road trip, I go, well, let's not even talk about the road trip. So remove that. And then when I did that, I introduced a typo that wasn't there. It's like, I can't win. Don't do graphics when you're tired. That's what I learned today. Especially when you first wake up and waiting for a coffee.
I feel I'm due for a monster soon. I'm still on those.
Well, I'm slowly working my way off, but I did have a nice one yesterday. I had Rockstar Fruit Punch something. Oh, it was so good. I think this is a snow speeder.
Mm,
That's what it looks
was it
like.
called the snow speeder?
Snow speeder? Yeah, from Hoth. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm partially. My brain's asleep partially.
I'm pretty sure that's a snow speeder, and that's what they called it. I actually got a funny story about the original snow speeder that I had from the early 80s from Kenner. So my dad, for the 78, 79 toy line, bought me pretty much everything. Most of the figures and all the vehicles and playsets. I had pretty much everything you can get, even the mail away stuff, which was cool. Um, but that was for the Star Wars movie. With Empire, I got less and less of the stuff. But in the case of the snow speeder, um, a family friend had someone who drove a garbage truck or did
Mm-hmm.
the hauling, whatever. Because back then it was all manual, right? None of these
Right.
garbage trucks that would pick up your can and dump it for them didn't have that nonsense going on. So gave us the ship. Well, it was the body of the ship without the forward facing guns and one or two body panels. So my mom, being pretty smart, she contacted Kenner, which had a warehouse and representation here in Toronto, and got the parts. Turns out customer service for Kenner was awesome. So literally, this toy that was reclaimed from garbage, which there was nothing wrong with it, just two pieces missing, had only been out maybe a year. She got the missing parts. They cleaned it up, did a whitewash on it, and I had basically a brand new snow speeder. Cost us nothing but a phone call.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool.
How about that?
So yeah, literally, I had reclaimed garbage. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, yeah, reclaimed garbage.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Well, it was too, because once it was done and cleaned up, you couldn't tell the difference. And any collector today would kill for that set. They gladly take it. I had the little rope on it with the little harpoon on it, thing you would take out the AT-AT's legs with. I mean, yeah, it was complete when we were done.
Wow. Has there been any iteration of the snow speeder in Lego form where the tow cable can actually wrap around something as large as the UCS version?
That's a good question, because I've built two or three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny now that I think of it that I don't really recall too much about the tow hook. So I really can't answer that.
Because like I have the 20th
And none
anniversary
of them
one.
are together. They're all Ziploc now. So
Yeah.
it's not like I could pull it out to check.
Just take out the string.
Yeah, that
If
sounds
you
like
really
work.
wanted to.
It's like I'm just thinking, okay, so which bin would it be in to start?
Because
Yeah.
I know, like, for the 20th anniversary one, which is the one I have, I don't think it will, at least to the length that it was shown in the movies.
Do you have the AT-AT?
No, I don't have any AT-ATs.
Oh,
I'm
you don't have
debating
any
it.
AT-AT.
It is something that I'm debating on.
Well, if you're gonna buy one, I tell you the UCS one definitely looks like that's the one to get. But in lieu of that, buy the most recent playset version because that looks like it's a really nice. That one I don't actually own, and it looks really good
Hmm.
in my opinion. Now it's 200 Canadian when not on sale, but I would absolutely look for like at 160, 165 on sale, which it seems to pop up plenty, like on Amazon and other places. So I wouldn't pay 200 for it unless it was going out, like discontinuing.
That Snowspeeder build looks awfully similar to the Battle Pack one.
Ta-da.
Or not the speeder from the 8080.
Oh, yeah.
The regular play scale one.
Yeah, I'm glad Lego's making battle packs again. That put a smile on my face for the Star Wars stuff, because that's, after the TIE Fighter and then the X-Wings, and then it was kind of the battle packs I fell in love, because I love the idea of, hey, I get 4 cool figures and a tiny little build I could just bum around with. Like, that's kind of cool. Because I mean, big builds are fun, but sometimes it just dredge on and you just want to do a little thing and be done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I find just as much joy from small sets as big sets. Like, this week I done a lot of smaller stuff. I mean, if you think about it, the Pokemon ball was small, the CN Tower, while it was a tall build, 27 inches, it was only 400 pieces. Turned out cooler than I thought as a display piece, but the bricks from Dragon Block, if you see them in Toys R Us, I don't know. It appears to be a 4-year-old set if I'm reading everything correctly on the box.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2017 set. So if I judge the company now by the standards then, I would like to see what a new set from them is like, because the clutch wasn't bad, but there was definitely quality issues with the brick. And one of the things you'll find with stuff that isn't Lego or not modern Mega Constructs or even Kobe is clutch can be awesome with anything small. But when you start getting into longer bricks, 1x8, 1x10, 1x12, 16, etc., when you're running those longer lengths, that's when tolerance issues with stud thickness are going to come in, and they're going to screw with you. And you're going to find that they don't clutch together properly because being longer, but if the tolerances are wrong on the studs, they end up pulling on the far points.
Right.
So you end up with a lot of bowing that'll happen. And it's really obvious if you're putting a long piece down on a plate, like a base plate. Then you'll see it literally lift up one corner. It could be that bad. And you'll see that with some Chinese companies. Like I said, that's 4 years old. Who knows what they're like now? Because even Mega would have had that problem 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that problem now. Anything from 2015 up is pretty rock solid. But yeah. The set still goes together. Nothing stopped it from going together. Technically, it's an unstable build because it's really only connected by 3 studs to the base. Yeah, like if you were to lift it up wrong, it's finished. And then it's got 1 axle connecting the top to the bottom. Probably not the lightest connection there. But yeah, it was cheap, and it's a CN Tower. I mean, I live in Toronto. It was kind of a no-brainer to buy it. This looks like kind of the probe droid. The one that wanted to stick Princess Leia, I guess. Oh, wow. I realized I just ripped the top of the instruction off. Let's see. That's the only time I've done that. Wow. Yeah. Okay, not a big deal. I can tape that on. You'd think with all of these doors I've been cutting off, I would have butchered more of them, but nope. That's the first. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to build later. I should build something old. I'm pretty sure I'm still closer to 300 than 250 on the backlog.
Really, that many sets?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. even though I don't have snups for tracking anymore, just because I'm still buying them faster than I'm building them. Let's see. Red in the front, clip on the side. Oh, this is easy.
I know that there's one set in my backlog that I like looking at it in a sealed state, but at the same time I want to build it just for the sake of having it built.
Is it a high value set, and that's why you don't
I,
want to build it, or
Sentimentally, yes, just because of the theme, but I thought it's only gone up like twice its value almost,
okay,
but it's not the big deal right now. I don't think it will go up that much more right away.
right?
Here, I can actually put off my backlog in a second to show off if you want.
Cool.
Take like 2 seconds. Yeah, I was quite happy that I got the only copy that Bricklink had in Canada. Like US, I don't think there was cheaper options. I haven't been comfortable buying from the US on Bricklink yet.
Oh, really?
I don't know, just something about me worrying about like my dad. He always orders car parts and whatnot, and from all over the place. Sometimes mostly the U.S. and he has to pay like duties and tax, whatever it is, on it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, imagine with the car parts, he's also dealing with bigger items and more expensive items. So for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll show the price sticker that was left on it,
Here, let me make
and
it
to
big
give a
screen.
better idea how old this is.
Zellers. Oh, wow. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Oh, dude, that's a toughie. And the box is really good condition.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, like, I found out there's 2 different types of boxes there are to collect for this set. This is
Is
the
there
better
is
one, in
there
my
is
opinion.
there a square one?
There's one without the clouds, and it's just white border.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. And
and
was
so
that also
apparently,
a North American release? Because what you're holding is a North American release.
oh,
Well, you'll know that it's a North American release right off the top because it's got all the info. Euro releases usually don't have piece count.
right, okay, sorry, that's what you
Yeah.
meant.
Same with
Yeah,
Australia. Usually they don't either. Like I got an Australian Ghost, and it says the number, the ages, and Ghost. It does not give you piece count.
sorry, I'm showing off the box. So yeah, from what I was able to research, the first wave of the Toy Story sets had the cloud version of box art,
Sure.
and then they updated it to be just a blank white Toy Story 3 styled box art of just a plain white and blue border, whatever, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I actually like the cloud design better, just because it looks cooler, more nostalgic for me.
You know,
So
it'd be cool though if you had one of each. Like if you're keeping that because it's special or unique or whatever. Like if you have both versions, that's really a great way to
I'm
have it. And,
hoping I
and
come.
then keep those as like a pristine set.
I'm hoping I come across one because I'm gonna try and holding off on building that until the Lightyear movie. And unless the Lightyear sets that are rumored to come out are actually better than this one, and I want to build that more than I do this one, then I'll do that and just keep this in my backlog for however long. But I grew up with Toy Story, and so like that was one of the sets on my wish list for the longest time that I really wanted. And I'm like, it's around my birthday. It's the month of my birthday. Order it. I don't care.
Yeah. I think Toy Story was, such a game changer for the movie industry and for Disney and Pixar and everybody. Just
Mhm.
what they did with that series was amazing. The
Oh yeah.
quality, the constant improvements, and it was something that anyone of any age could watch. That's what I like. Is it didn't feel like you were watching like as an adult that you're watching something dumbed down. It's like no, there's actually some very mature concepts in there, and I really like that series of movies.
It's a
They
great.
ended sadly though. It's like, oh man, don't
I
end
know.
like that.
Movies don't normally make me cry, but that one was one of the very few that did. The
Well,
fourth
see,
one.
what's cool about the way they did the movies, each movie got better, each movie visually got better, and they age.
Yep.
And so if you were young and you saw the first one, by the time you saw the third one, it's like, yeah, you grew up and you grew up watching this and you were older just like everyone else is in the movie. And that's rare for some of these movies and franchises where they age and they
Hmm.
age with you growing up. Now, of course, if you've seen Toy Story 3, it's a little hard if you're young. But if you can be introduced to that first one and then watch the progression, yeah, it's really good. Good franchise, good movie.
I'm a little disappointed in myself that I didn't pick up many of the fourth movie sets, and I think the reasoning for that is just because I didn't agree with the pricing for them, like
Right.
as well as the builds. I it was aimed for plus wise, but I didn't think it was necessary. So
I mean, I'm only going to buy 4 plus when there's either a figure I want or it's a theme I can't walk away from. So Star Wars, the X-wing and Tie Fighters, all right. 4 plus, I'm still buying them. I can't say I have every X-wing and Tie Fighter if I'm not buying every X-wing and Tie Fighter. But other stuff I look at like, oh god, it's totally not for me. And if I'm buying it, why? I mean, it's just hard for me to justify some of them, especially when they're gigantic pieces. Although some people will buy them for that reason. Oh, look, I can mock with this or mock with that. Like,
you got me searching, seeing if I can find a white box one.
well, it's about time I cost someone else some money. It's like I realize that Ryan has totally screwed me in the last month. No, he has, right? Like
Yeah.
when he tipped me off an hour before I would have discovered it on my own for like the Moss Eisley and other sets that were 40% off on Amazon.
Hmm.
I mean, I would have woke up an hour later and seen it, and they were still available an hour later when I had placed my orders, but still, yeah, I mean, so I ended up buying Moss Eisley and another expensive set, 40% off, so that was still good. And then even Thursday night, me running around to Masterminds, that's all him because if he had told me Thursday night, but say I hadn't worked overtime, I wouldn't have bothered. I would have just done the Friday trip. And I mean, I guess I would have spent the money anyway, but there's also a good chance they'd be gone. Because trust me, when I picked up what I wanted, people were picking up the ones behind me. And while I was watching those shelves disappear so fast, like that's how it is in Toronto. I mean, they had more and they were pulling out more. I don't know how
Hmm.
much they had in the back, but this, brand new sets, they disappear quickly, especially going into Christmas. Because how cool is it if you got a young, and it's largely the parents buying for the kids.
Hmm.
But still, there's plenty of adult collectors going in there. But yeah, the and also Mastermind will limit how much you can walk out with usually.
Yep. I've
So
heard
if
that.
if I went in there to try and clear the shelf of any one store, they would have been all over me. No one minded me grabbing, 2 here, 3 there. But if I tried to clear the shelf, like, sir.
Yeah, one of the issues I hear in Facebook groups I'm in is that like, oh, they didn't let me buy a full box. I want to buy a full box to resell. I'm like,
Yeah, and I don't feel sorry for those people. And I'm a guy who sells stuff too, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't feel bad. Sorry.
yeah,
It's a toy. It should be built. I don't care. That's why I don't mind. Like, yeah, I make money on the flips, but it's like, you know, I did really good in the last week, doing the gift with purchase promo stuff. But it's by the same token, I want everyone to be able to build. And if
hmm,
they turn around and re-release it, boo-hoo, so what? Now everyone else gets a chance. So that's a good thing. I know a lot of people go, oh no, they're devaluing my investment. Screw you. It's a toy. I'm not going to cry because you can't make hundreds off something. Retail arbitrage. I get it. I mean, there's definitely a place for it, but it's like ultimately people who buy up shelves of stuff, they're not helpers, they're herders, and that's what I call it.
Hmm.
Because leave it on the shelf, no one needs you to buy it so that you can sell it to them later at a higher price.
I feel like I'm guilty with that, honestly, with only one instance. I found the Ninjago Samurai X mech. It was like a
Mhm.
$20 set retail. Like I found it in a Walmart on the lowest shelf possible, the clearance sticker of $3 a piece.
Yeah, woo. Well, it's like, you know, when I bought when I bought this one, that flying ugly dragon thing. This is the
Hmm.
last one I have now. But this was all clearance shelf where I wiped out the store. And I made my money on it many times over already. So me trying to sell my open used one that I just built a week ago, it's like, yeah, whatever. It sells, it sells, it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't really care.
Hmm.
It could sit in the Ziploc land for a while and I could always choose to sell it again later. I won't drop the price on it right now. I'd rather just have it sit, time out on Kijiji after 45 days, and then, or even take it down sooner.
Right.
Because I'm not selling, I wasn't listening because I needed the money. It's just, it's one of those things I didn't necessarily want in the collection. There's a
Hmm.
few other things that are sitting over my head that I'll build them. They are part of my collection, but it's like I don't really care for them. There's a Harry Potter set. I'm not a Harry Potter guy, so as I go through the Harry Potter sets, I'll probably put them up too. Maybe I'll just lower the price a bit, help them move a little easier, so I'm not sitting on them. Because if I don't have to bag them and catalog them, that helps.
Hmm.
I could just give it to someone built and say, "Here you go, you take it apart."
Kind of give
Although I,
yourself the build experience.
yeah, well, that's the thing. I want to build everything, and that's why even if it's something I don't want in the collection, I'd rather build it once, take it out of the box, and sell it to someone used than sell it to someone sealed. 'Cause then I don't get that experience. And it's like, actually, I got a question for you,
What's up?
since you're the Ninjago guy. When I built the dragon, there were a number of stickers that didn't have numbers.
That was common for that wave. They included some bonus stickers for you to decorate your builds with or just use for whatever.
Okay. Because yeah, it's like, okay, I did ones, twos, threes, up to eight, and it's like, okay, there's four stickers not
Yep.
numbered, and they did look like they were kind of extra bonusy type stuff because they were nowhere in the documentation and actually nowhere on the box art either, from what I could tell.
Hmm.
So that's good to know. Hey, someone, if I do sell it, they'll appreciate some stickers not being used, even if they're not
Yep.
numbered.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird choice. It was a good but weird at the same time because as a Ninjago fan myself, we're not used to that.
Yeah. There was some city sets back in the day that had plenty of stickers. They didn't tell you where they went, and it was a very odd thing because you expect, one goes here, two goes there, five goes there. It's like, no, you got a sticker sheet. It gave you some options, but then young kids, they never put the stickers on right anyway. If you give them more stickers, they just make more of a mess of it.
Oh, looks like Kohl's in the US is getting US stuff or the new stuff, sorry. Yeah.
They're getting the new stuff early.
Yeah, one of the people I follow, they posted some pictures on their story. And I'm assuming it's Kohl's because Kohl's has a distinct price tag to them.
Oh yeah, okay.
If
Oh
I'm
my
wrong,
God, this
then
guy falls apart easy.
yeah, brick built dragons like that, the wings are very weird.
Yeah,
I
this was
think.
one of the bending ratchets on it. It's
Yeah.
possible I didn't put it on 100%, but that's okay. And in the case of this shooter here, I know I didn't push him in because I'm starting to get smarter. When I build
Mhm.
these stupid things and they got these push-in launchers, well, I forget they're on there sometimes, and then you accidentally trigger them. So now I push them in, but not all the way in.
I love the builds that have those, but they put them in a way where you actually need to push something in order to shoot them out.
Yeah, this one's got a nice little thumb thing on the back, which actually I think is a nice way of doing it. but they both fire out.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice if you had the option of 2 buttons to engage, because it's like one button does both.
A lot of
It
people
was a nice
consider
use
that.
of a rubber bit inside. I like that. Anytime they can
Yeah.
use a rubber bit in a good way, I like that.
Yeah. A lot of people consider that dragon a dragonfly than just a regular dragon.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like I said, it's not something I want to keep in my dragon collection.
It's not the coolest one of the bunch. I'll admit that. Yeah.
Did you see the Pokemon ball?
Yeah, something in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
I think
take
you
that
posted
crap
it to
off
your
for a
Insta
second.
as well.
Oh, look at that. That's way too close. That's dumb. But yeah. And is that going to activate? There we go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
You know what? It kind of looks better like this with a little bit of blur at a distance. It's not horrible or anything. I mean, there's only a couple ways to make a ball with bricks, and that was one method. And BB-8, the BB-8 build is another way of doing it. With plates. They both have their merits, both styles, but I think there's improvements to that one because it's like there's these unsightly gaps. It's like, come on, guys, you could have put something in there. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to make a new piece if you didn't want to, okay, but you could have put something. Because I'm looking at it like, hey, I could have put some red cylinders on the top and white cylinders on the bottom. That still would have filled in the gap better than not doing it at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging with me. I'm going to shut this one down, and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to build and come back online.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. You can come back on if I'm doing something or if you're doing something. I'll watch you.
Sweet. Sounds like a
Cajun's
plan.
got his thing going, so
I popped in there for a bit, and then I saw some FNAF news that I had to go look at because everybody's trying to uncover the stuff from the new game, and I want to be in the know for that.
oh, you mean that's still coming out?
It came out on
Oh.
Thursday.
Oh, finally, eh?
I played it on my friend's PlayStation 4, and great game visually. Story in terms of lore seems a little bit lacking. It doesn't quite seem to fit in with the others, and it's a bit buggy. Like, I was in a few situations where I was hiding in a basket trying to
Right.
avoid the animatronics, and the animatronic would be chasing me as I'm entering the basket, and it'd be glitched into the basket. So if I leave, I'm dead. For an example.
That's something that can be fixed, though, and hopefully they will. It depends how big a production company was behind it, because some companies, they put out the game and they're done. They won't touch it again.
Oh, they've put out a thing saying that, yeah, we were kind of hoping that there wouldn't be any bugs, so we could start working on a DLC for it, but we're gonna work on fixing it, patching it, and whatnot. So that's good.
Yeah, especially when they're obvious like that.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Thanks for hanging, and I'll
Yeah, no
catch
problem.
you. I'll catch you later.
Sounds good.
Peace. Bye.